There are two things you need to get started with Slippi hot swapping. The first is a USB, and the second is an SD card with the latest version of Slippi Nintendo on it. To check and make sure your version is compatible, in the Homebrew channel, press A on the Slippi Nintendo app. It should show version 1.12 or greater. Before you load, make sure that the USB is inserted in the Wii. Select Load from SD card. Change your settings as appropriate. Make sure Slippi Replays is enabled. I also find it helpful to enable the Slippi Replays LED, as that lets you know that the USB is inserted properly. Otherwise, you can just launch Slippi as you normally would. You can see now, Melee's up, and in the bottom left, you can see the blue LED of the Wii disk drive, indicating that it can read the USB. When I remove the USB, the light will go out, indicating that there's no USB. This is an easy way to know if a setup is recording or not. As a competitor, Hotswap is already useful, as it allows you access to tournament sets that might have otherwise been lost. However, as a tournament organizer, you can use a tool developed by Nicolette called Replay Manager for Slippi that allows you to automate reporting tournament sets if you use StartGG or Challenge. Go to github.com/jmlee337/replaymanager for Slippi. Scroll down to Releases and select the latest release, and then choose the installer that matches your platform. For Windows, you'll want .exe. From there, download and install the application, and when you run it, you should see a screen like this. For StartGG, you'll select StartGG mode, and then you'll need to create a StartGG API key in order to report the sets. You can create an API key by clicking your profile picture in the bottom left of StartGG, choosing Developer Settings, and then Create New Token. You can add a description to help you remember why you're using this token. Once you create the token, make sure to note down the key that it gives you, as you won't be able to access this information again. Paste the token into the StartGG API key field, and then choose your other settings. When you're starting out, I would use guided mode. From there, you can select your tournament. I'm running the prestigious Dummy Example tournament, so I'll choose that one. You'll need to start the bracket in order to see sets show up. So we can now refresh the pool, and you can see our match. Next, you'll want to select a replays folder. This is where replays will be put as they're being organized. I'll just choose Slippi for now, but you can put them wherever you like. Once you plug in a USB, the games from the USB will show up in this area here. From here, you can select the set that you would wish to report, then choose a player and assign it to a port, and it will auto-fill out the other characters as needed. Then you can select Report in the bottom right, and if you like, you can delete originals as well. Note this will delete all of the replays in the folder, so if there are multiple games in one USB, make sure to leave this unchecked. Now if we go to our bracket, we can see that the games have been reported, and character and stage data has been included as well. You can continue reporting sets in this manner for the rest of the tournament. Not all sets will be quite as straightforward to report, however. This set shows a few peculiarities you may run into while reporting games. First of all, not all the games have been selected. Replay Manager by default hides games that are shorter than 1 minute. It also excludes games that are ending in a no contest. To force their inclusion in the reported data, you can select the checkbox next to the game. For games that end in a no contest, you'll also need to select the winner by clicking the trophy above the player's head. Next, the Falco player changed ports mid-set, which complicates reporting the character data. Go ahead and do the Marth first. And then, for the other character, you just have to individually select the player by game to report the data correctly. Once it's ready to report, you can select the Report button in the bottom and continue like you normally would. Now we can go back to StartGG and check our bracket and see that the set has been properly reported. Now that we've reported a few sets, we can go to Slippi Launcher to see a few other things that Replay Manager does for us when we report using it. First, it changes the times of the replays to account for Wiis that might have improper clock settings. It bases it off of when the game is reported and goes backwards. It also puts the player's tags as the Slippi netplay tags to include that data in the VOD. Replay Manager and hot swapping are very powerful tools that I hope more TOs will pick up in the future.